that high function will run its course is that if that's all you have. So you being who you are, you attract a certain type of man. Me being who I am, I can take anybody and transform them into who I want them to be.
She came in and is willing to allow you to tell her what you want and she'll submit to those. You're not God.
Welcome back to another video with a holy duo. It's your man Eddie.
Hey, it's Dialogue. You all welcome back.
Welcome.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Hey, we got a video. This is hitting hard. Cam Newton gets exposed, pretty much gets called out on his own show by Dr. Bryant. She's a psychologist and apparently she's the president of the NCAA. I never knew that. Just my first time seeing her, but she calls him out on his own show about having the type of lifestyle that breaks, or that's the broken home lifestyle. So we're going to hop straight into it. And pretty much, man, looking at this example, we see when you get high status in life and you focus on yourself, essentially what you can gain, what you want, your desires, and you forget God, this is where you can be going or heading towards. So let's hop straight into the video. Let's see this example that we have with Cam Newton over here. So this first clip is the part where she's basically telling him that he's not God, right? Because I guess he wants to control his women.
High function to sustain the relationship. That high function will run its course is that if that's all you have. So you being who you are, you attract a certain type of man. Me being who I am, I can take anybody and transform them into who I want them to be. A woman cannot do that.
That's not true.
In most cases.
That's not true.
Okay, she's not willing.
No, I'm saying that no man can take a woman and transform her into what he wants her to be. She came in and is willing to allow you to tell her what you want and she'll submit to those. You're not God, and you're not the potter maker. So your hands ain't on no pot, sweetie, taking a woman and conforming. You just don't have that power. You probably would like to, but you don't have that power. You can take her, like I just said before, with the womanizer and the guy who, me being in your studio, and say, baby, these are the qualifications, and she chooses, which is her free will to never be yours, to hit them points or not. And when she chooses to hit them points, you then choose to keep her or you choose to shake her, because you can never take water. Hold on. You can never take water, baby, and make this 7-Up. You can pour it out and fill it back up, but this will never turn to what you wanted. You're not Jesus. You ain't turning water to wine. That's not how it happens. Now, you can't take a woman and make her what you want. You can tell her what you want, and I'm gonna give her power back, and she'll choose to be that. But you don't get the power of saying you made her that, whether an entrepreneur or a mother or a wife. She chooses to let you do that by telling you, I'll submit to those orders. There's a difference. Now, with a man, a high-valued woman can do the same thing with the man. Baby, you want to be here? This is the qualifications. This is what I need, the prerequisites. He can say yes, or he can say no. Either way. But if he chooses to do that, then that's his choice, and she got what she wanted. It's all about conduciveness. Is it conducive or not? Right. However, we don't potter nobody. And that's where the disconnect comes in at, with people who are high valued but low functioning.
But I don't want
high value.
What's going through your mind?
That was a very bold statement. And I like that Cam Newton is in this position, because it's going to show a lot of young people, or a lot of people who want to get to this high status level, a few things. My first point being that he thinks he can make whomever whatever he wants, just because that's how confident he is in himself.
Exactly.
That's a lot of pride, if you ask me. Just because of his elitism, he thinks he can do that. And this is the same mindset that a lot of elite or high status men have, that women end up taking advantage of. You know, you get this perfect woman who shows up. She's like 23, 24. She does whatever you want. She likes whatever you like. She's willing to submit to you. And then you marry her. And then 15 years down the line, you find out that she found you out.
Oops, I did it again.
Right? She's basically gonna play you because she knows
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what you like.
I
Right?
remember
And
what
these are
you
the
call
guys-
it.
Yeah.
I remember we spoke about that on a podcast episode some years ago.
Yeah. Look, man, we already prophesied this stuff.
Yeah, we already said it already.
You see what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
she's gonna play you, and then she's gonna end up taking a huge chunk of your money, and then all of these guys are gonna say, "Hey, look, man, look at these women." Nope. Cam Newton said it right here. I can make you whatever I want, and he's
Mhm.
lost because he thinks he can make him whatever he wants.
Think so.
But really, they're coming ready to be made whatever he wants, so that they can be leaving
yeah.
with his money.
yeah, and soon we're gonna hear to that statement, to that point, we're gonna hear one of his biggest fears, which relates to them coming in, right? I'm not gonna say the word or the phrase, but it relates to them coming in and potentially being able to take, his money. There's a fear that he has that we're gonna get to in the next clip. But yeah, this is kind of the mindset that does develop when you do have the power of the money, because everybody wants to work for the or wants to get it. So if you got it, they're gonna come to get it. They're gonna come
Absolutely.
where the fountains are flowing. Hey, don't nobody like famine.
So I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I thought I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more.
Encore! Man, you're not so loud. They may hear you.
Now,
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm
just
saying,
want
how
God
about
to
your
bring
wife?
him. I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you just
Because
bring 'em,
my
okay.
point is this. My desire to get married
Mhm.
is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Bryant, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
He said his desire to marry is lower than his fear of getting divorced. And that goes back to what you were saying, because he doesn't want somebody to come in, tap at that access to take when they divorce him. He's avoiding marriage so that he don't get stripped of his treasures. And then here's where I want to go about this, because this is how people, I mean, nobody wants to go get a divorce, and of course you wouldn't want somebody to come in to divorce you and get your money. Of course, that's like basic understanding. Like, nobody wants that to happen to them. I just want to make a point of how when you value something so dearly to you, this is how you kind of act toward it. You want to hold on to it. You want to store it. You want to grab it. So I want to go to a couple of verses here that kind of lets us see between a person that is heavenly mindset set it, and then a person that's kind of like earthly mindset and how they operate. So looking at famous or rich people that love to be praised or that love to be in the limelight, we see a lot of them, flashy, living a lifestyle and things like that. You can't serve two masters. That's one of the things that we know biblically, and what God gives us to help us stay on track and to help us not get distracted. I don't know why I said distracted like that, but we see an example of a person serving their own desires, instead of God's. And when we go to Matthew 6:24, we're going to pull up Matthew 6:24 real quick. Matthew 6:24. No one can be a slave to two masters, since either he will hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot be slaves to God and of money. Why can't you be slaves to God and money? Because you're going to do more for one than the other, and you're going to be distracted by one more than the other. So one is going to keep your attention, and one is going to be more appealing to you. And so you got to choose which one you want to serve. You can't give your full attention to both. It's going to you're going to be captured by either one of them. And we see here with a person that desires selfishly, has those selfish desires, and doesn't want to go with the desires that God has. We see this type of behavior where they want to keep their possessions. They want things. They want to control things. They like to be praised. They like the limelight. They think they're, over certain rules. And we're going to hear him say some stuff that kind of indicates him, kind of overriding what God says is good for his life versus what he wants to choose for his life. And that's what happens when you get to a stage where you got pretty much everything that you want. You don't feel like you need God, so God is no longer a part of your life because you have what you need, and God, you don't need God to have what you have, so you think, and so now you replace God with your possessions and those desires, which you can now fulfill.
First of all, I don't know why these celebrities always have to bring God into the picture, because the moment you bring God into the picture, you bring a whole set of standards and moral objectivity and ethics to the conversation that I don't think they're willing to have, because what he just said was the most hypocritical thing. So he's having fun, right? He says, I have eight children. And here's the kicker. I want more. And he's like, I want God to just bring them in. I just want to be blessed with more kids.
Mm-hmm.
What God?
Exactly.
Because any God that I know, which is God, the Christian God, that is only God that I know,
Mm-hmm.
has standards and boundaries and regulations around marriage. That's why devout Christians have some of the highest marriage success percentage rates recorded currently, at least.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why. It's
Yeah.
because men like you, Cam Newton, aren't in that community. I don't know whether you call yourself Christian or whatever have you, but God obviously has nothing to do with this, right?
No.
And you made a point when you said when you value something close to you, you usually develop some kind of tendencies or whatever
Possessiveness.
Yeah. And it makes sense, right? Because he said he's fearful of marriage and he is more open to basically like not ever wanting to be divorced. So he has more of a fear of divorce. He has, what did he say?
My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce.
Yeah, his desire for marriage is lower than his fear of divorce.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. That's a problem because family is one of God's foundational structural things for how the economy works and how humans work in general. There is a huge tie to lineage and child rearing in the Bible. When you look in the Bible in Genesis, you have generations on generations on generations from one family to the next to the next to the next to the next, and it connects all of us like this son of this, and it connects all of them with the and word, and that's a big part of it. That's a big part of the Bible. The and connects things, and it's connecting one lineage to the next, so it tracks, so it follows. That's important. Family is important. What Cam Newton is doing is he's creating broken homes, which I think the woman talks about too.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So you mentioned Matthew 6:24, and it talks about you cannot serve God and mammon. Right. And when you look at the word mammon in that verse, it's speaking to treasure or riches, and it specifically talks about riches that opposes God. So it's not talking about any kind of riches. It's talking about riches that specifically cause you to oppose God in whatever shape or form. You know what I'm saying? And Cam Newton is specifically opposing the family unit. I'm not saying he hates the family unit, but how he's deciding to live his life.
Yeah, he's not developing it correctly.
Exactly. He's straight up opposing it by saying, like, I have this fame, I can do whatever I want, I can take whatever woman I want and make her have my kids, and she'll be good because I got money for them.
Yeah, because they want to taste. Yeah, because they want to taste the rainbow. And last point, that I wanted to hit.
Taste the rainbow.
They want to taste all. And he talks about traveling. We'll get there. But he talks about traveling and like how he went to Africa. But
no.
Yeah. So, but you see here, like people, a point that you made about like people don't want God. People want God to bless them, but they don't want God. They want what they can get. They don't want God. What can you do for me? And that's it. They treat God like a genie. God's going to serve me, and that's how it's going to work. I'm not going to serve God. God's going to serve it. A lot of people have the God's gonna serve me mindset. Even some people in Christianity, like we may be tempted to just have a relationship to where we just pray for things, you know, like from God, like you know, blessing. And if we're not careful, we're gonna end up going the wrong route in prayer because we're asking God for things so much, like we're not focused on the right things, so that those things, because seek ye first the kingdom of God and all
I was
righteousness,
just about to pull up that verse.
then everything is going, you know, will come. So
Exactly.
our posture has to be correct, because then if it's correct, then the things that we need are gonna come. We don't gotta be so headstrong.
Yeah, and then when they come, because you came in correct, right? You sought the kingdom of God and its righteousness. When the things come, you enjoy the things in righteousness.
And it's gonna flow. And it's gonna flow. It's gonna flow because the stream of the, you know, God's stream is living. You know, it's constant. You know, God don't bless like Satan do. You know, ain't no sacrifices, no blood sacrifices, no ceremonies you gotta be a part of. You know, you don't gotta feed no demons. Yeah. But yeah, you tend to see people just wanting God to bless them, but they don't want nothing to do with God. They don't want nothing to do with God. And so that's what we need to pay attention to. When people want stuff from God, but then don't want the relationship with God, something's off there.
Hey, speak on the Oscars, man. Like, you have every single person, maybe like 80% of the people who go up there who win an award, they're like, first off, I want to thank God. It's such a big place in my heart, and I've put in so much work.
I want to thank God for putting me in this amazing position that I am today. Everything I do it through Him, and I'm extremely blessed.
First off, I want to thank God, man. I mean, nothing's possible without God, obviously.
I just want to say thank you to God. None of this can be possible without, God leading your way and, writing your path for you. So one more round of applause for that as well.
I'd like to thank God for this experience and all my experiences.
I just want to thank God for blessing me for this award.
I have to thank God for just this experience and for my family and my friends and for my boyfriend that's here with me tonight.
It's like everyone wants to thank God, but no one wants to live by the standards. Yes.
Yeah.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Oh, let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health wise, and community wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here, at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will. You'll get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done. You can go for it.
Okay, say less. All right, so what identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means?
That the family is blended. So blended
So blended means broken?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as?
And this is where he's like going off of the track and like, you know, trying to make her answer certain questions and almost deflecting kind of and not getting straight to the subject matter or the point of the subject matter. And, you know, he's going to kind of question her now.
The guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as?
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old if he has no kids.
So your non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids, but yes, I get how you're saying it. Yes.
So you cannot date a person. You cannot be with a person. I
can, but I'm choosing not to.
So
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
You're.
I gotta correct it. It's my narrative, Cam.
You're like jumping in, jumping out. It's either.
Cam. No, it's not. I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so. Okay. So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference, because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids. So I don't want to put that narrative out there. Yes. My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump. With your verbiage of blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is. Because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that.
That's not my point.
No, I know I'm making that point. But yes.
But my point.
My answer is I not only identified that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them.
Yeah.
But also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids.
She did something to his brain. She just broke him. What?
Yeah,
what is he talking about?
He's trying to get her. He's not listening very well because she's giving him the answers, but he's focused on something and it's not coming through. You know.
Wow.
I guess he's getting. Yeah. she's getting to him a little bit.
I'm talking
a kid. It doesn't
so
matter.
you're not going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
3 times.
No, I said, are you listen to what I'm saying?
I heard you. Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
But will you date him?
No.
So
hey, how many times she gotta say it, dog?
Man.
yo.
Dang.
He said it about like 4 or 5 times. And he's still asking the same question. He mad, man.
Goodness gracious, man.
He a little aggravated.
That goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have 2 different men right here. One man who has.
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes.
But do you understand, just off of the statistics?
Here we go. Go ahead and be a statistic and say it because I hear it all the time. And it.
What?
Say it.
You say what you're saying, and I'm going to either.
Based on statistics, most men have kids. Go for it.
At your age.
But that's why I said early on, Cam, when you said young and remember the patience of me being older woman, I said, well, for, a woman who has certain qualifications or criterions like no kids, that would be, I have to have enough brain cells to know, baby, that's the payoff. Okay, he may be younger, successful, no kids, but now you have to make sure you implement the patience. Or you get you an older man who has kids and he could have been married with his kids. There's a lot of different scenarios why men have kids, okay? But then you don't have to have as much patience with him as maturity-wise. But do you want to have patience to say, and it's not even dealing with, because that's not bad. You want to have enough patience to gut the fact that you are dating a man with young kids or grown kids, and that's against what you want your value.
That we show the children real love, real communication, real orders of operations. And I think that's key because even though we have this unspoken societal pressure to do this and be this, but that's just not, that's a unicorn that you're waiting for. Because if I'm sitting up here telling you like, yo, I have aspirations to have this, but my experiences have shown me that that person really doesn't exist. So when I'm asking or I'm asked questions of, is the expectations unrealistic? Because my reality has garnered unbelievable connections with women around the world. Not in Africa, I haven't been in Africa, right? But at the same time, I've been able to make the best of my situation. And I can't say that that situation ever resulted into a broken home.
Got it. So this is my thing. You can label it whatever your her ego needs it to be labeled so that you feel good about your choices. But at the end of the day, a family consists of a dynamic. And that dynamic consists of 2 parents and a child. And when you start to create that multiple times, that's called a blended family. And when there's somebody missing from the home, but they are the school daddy, meaning I pick them up or drop them off to school, or they are the sports mother or father, I come to the games, but they're not the, I wake up and go to sleep with my kids. That household now is broken by the, by the family dynamic. That does not mean,
You're
Cam,
not describing me.
That does not mean, Cam, that you are not a dynamic father. That does not mean that you don't have a great relationship with him. I'm talking about the political construct of a family.
Societal construct, political construct.
If you want to, that's what I'm saying. If you want to call it that, that's fine. But listen.
Those things that you
whatever we label it doesn't change our decisions, though.
That's what I'm trying to, that's what you don't understand.
So all of your baby mamas live in one house?
No, they do not. But my children stay with me.
So then it's still a broken house. So the mothers aren't in your home. So it doesn't make a difference.
That's making the best of the situation.
Right. And listen, and let me say this. That part I agree with.
Mhm.
That part, I admire in you.
Okay.
That part, I think is amazing.
Right.
Cam, look at me. That part, I say thank you
Mhm.
for being a man.
Did he just throw up? He just threw up on the car. Sir! Sir! You can't throw up on the car!
I already did. I'm sorry.
Who's vertical, who stood up and dealt with his decisions, whether it was decisions you liked or you didn't, or you planned or you didn't,
Mhm.
and you did what you had to do. That's called a man, baby. So thank you for being a man.
Yes, ma'am.
She had to get all like, sensitive with it.
Yeah, look in my eyes, Cam. Look in it.
Look at me, baby. What? What's going on, son?
We're reporting live. This lady has now child reared a child from Cam Newton.
Yeah, she got the joints. She got the bags out and everything.
Crazy.
Like she said, look into my eyes. I'm just joking.
And doing your thing, seriously,
Mhm.
with the best that you have. I think that's amazing.
Right.
And I say this, follow up, not to negate everything I just said, because I truly believe that and feel that. And I
Does she have him under a Jezebel spell? I'm just throwing that out there.
love that you did that. You didn't leave them fatherless. My father didn't leave me fatherless. It changed my life because he didn't leave me fatherless. I used to sit with him randomly and say, Daddy, thank you.
The reason why we should not lay up treasures here or build our kingdom for the here and now or put everything into it here and now, because not only is it going to pass away, but it's not the most important thing. The kingdom that we should be building is the heavenly kingdom. Why? Because ultimately, like these things are going to pass away. That's more important, and that's what is going to last long. And it's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's something wrong with building something here and now. We want to be great. We want to be, doing things right here. But just to the level of you rejecting God and putting your stock, that's what people who reject God do, is put all their stock into what they can gain here and now. And that's why you see, most people think that this life on earth is the best it will get. Like, that's why they put so much stock into it, because they don't believe and they don't know that there's a life after this life. And all their stock is here. Everything is, hey, we got to do it here and now. This is the best it's gonna get. So if you really believe it's the best you're gonna get, you're gonna do everything you can. And that's why Cam is like building his kingdom, so to speak, with all these different people, because you want so many kids. You want to have an army of kids. You want to build. He wants to build this empire that he's going for, right? He said he wants more. So that's what we usually see with people that have all their stock here, because they don't know about the eternal life. They don't believe that there's life after earth, or when you leave this earth. So of course, if I was a person that thought this was the only thing or the best it can get, I'm going to do everything I can to get to the top and stay on the top. And that's what we see with a lot of people. They get to the top, they want to stay on the top, and and that is why you see greed, and that is why they just store all their valuables or hold all their valuables dearly to them, because that's what they got.
Yeah, he has 8 kids. I wonder how many kids he has in other countries.
I don't know. I have no idea. But real quick, there's also one more verse, Romans 14, verses 17. For the kingdom of God is not a matter of eating and drinking, but righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. Basically, it's different from what we're used to. We're used to the tangibles, but the kingdom of God is not. The tangibles are there. Like, we're gonna have. There's a place for us. There's water there. The Bible gives us a lot of descriptive words on how the kingdom looks and what's going to be in the kingdom. But that's not the focus, though. The focus is righteousness. The focus is what God has for us there, and that's basically full of Him. Full of His love and peace and joy. in the Holy Spirit. Like that's what it's going to be about. But thank God that He gives us some information on things like eating, because we're gonna eat there. We're gonna eat. There's gonna be food there. So that's cool. But yeah, the point I wanted to make on that one is that the difference here is that we focus on the tangibles. We focus on eating, drinking, what we're gonna have tomorrow, what we're gonna all that other stuff, the money, this, that, and the third, and that's what this kingdom you see people stacking up on. People don't stack. People are not trying to get. As crazy as it sounds, there's no peace on earth. There's no fullness of joy on earth. You might have happy days or whatever, but it's filled with just vanity, filled with selfishness, all the stuff that are carnality. This world is carnal. So that's the difference. The world is carnal. The kingdom of God is not. It's righteous. It is peaceful. And it's filled with joy. Opposite of what the earth, we see it here on earth.
So I have like 15 points, but so she said she can't wait to be a mom, and Cam Newton made a point, or she made a point, that she's an older woman. I wonder how old this lady is.
Yeah,
can we find out real quick how old?
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. Let me see.
All right, so we couldn't find anything on her age. We don't know how old she is.
Incognito, bro. She got the people. She got the people there.
Yeah, FBI level status.
Yeah, she's locked in.
Secret information. But I like this conversation because someone is here telling these people, these high class elite celebrity people, that you take a dookie just like the rest of us. You go number 2 just like the rest of your number 2 isn't more special than us. I'm basically saying, like, you have problems just like normal people have problems. Normal people, as in, like, you don't have a lot of money or fame or an athlete on the level that he was. His fame doesn't excuse him from all the stuff that he has to deal with. He's not special, yet we can see that his level of speciality in his head is causing him to exclude him from being a statistic. He's basically made 8 children a statistic. They say that having a father in the home, in some cases, is better than having a mother in the home, because children under the tutelage of a father are less susceptible to these negative outcomes in life. But still, it's a single parent home. It has negatives where there don't need to be negatives. What's funny is she actually ends up consoling him because he got offended by her pointing out truth, not even against him, just truth in general.
Yeah, and that's something, like, when the truth comes out, especially, like, I'm not gonna get too deep, but when you call out something that somebody's doing that's wrong, it's always gonna be offensive. It's always gonna be offensive.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Even to me, I'm not excluding myself from that.
Yeah,
but at one point he mentioned that someone's gonna have to show these children the order of operations and how things work. Like she said, you can tell people what to do, but you create what you are. So if you are active, that's the thing that I'm just not understanding. He's actively creating broken single parent homes.
Yeah.
And then he's saying that he's gonna show the kids how to live non-broken family lives, which is crazy to me.
They don't have that example. They don't have the example to follow. And some, just real quick, like, how you gonna, let's say, teach your kid how to do a specific thing or to act a certain way? Best way is for them to see it. You could talk all day, but if they don't see how to do it, or if they don't see you do it, they're not gonna really buy into it. They gotta know that you live in what you're teaching. One thing to teach, but are you doing what you even saying? The kid's gonna pay attention. And so if you're trying to teach them one thing, but they don't see it, and you're not living it, how you expect them to do it as good as you think that they should do it when you're not doing it?
Yeah. So he can't. That's like telling someone who actively cheats on people in their relationships to go ahead and give a married couple counsel on how to stay together. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. One of the big problems in the community with dating is that a lot of people say that a person who is a serial dater or someone who involves themselves intimately with a lot of people, they are less desired by men or by women because they have less pair bonding abilities. And that's exactly why. Um, because you can't go around hooking up with a bunch of people, dating one person to the other, not having a serious relationship, and then get with someone who can be in a serious relationship, and then you automatically just switch, and then you're able to just have all of these characteristics and abilities and traits that promote a healthy relationship. It doesn't work that way, because the lifestyle that you're choosing to actually actively live is the same wisdom and understanding you're going to bring into your next, or what you're going to teach your children. You can't teach them something that you're not. You can't show them something that you're not. It just doesn't make sense. So that's the part where she lost me, is the truth starts to get to him and he starts to freak out a little bit, and she's like, Cam, I respect you. Look, man, you're doing the thing. You got all these kids in your house. You took them away from their moms. You're watching over. You're not special just because you can create a broken home and do your best. That doesn't make you special. How much better would it have been if you had just 4 kids with one woman and did your best? Your kids would be great. But the thing is, he's not realizing that when these kids grow up and they have to now begin to be responsible, like respond, able to the world, they're going to start making broken decisions just like him. And his kids are going to be all over the news, and it's just not going to look good, man.
Yeah.
Someone's going to pull this interview up one day in the future and be like, Cam, told you.
Yeah, when you look at what's really going on, is it definitely seems like it's rooted from like selfishness and then just personal gain. Like
ignorance
selfish,
too.
That too is like, he wants it this way because he wants it this way. He's doing this because it's what he desires to do, and not looking out for the future on what it's actually producing. That's why, from his point of view, there's nothing wrong with it, because what's right is what he wants from it, and that's building and gaining so many kids. He said he wants more. He wants God to give him more. So from his lens, it's just okay because he's getting what he wants. But ultimately, what's going to translate in the future is not maybe what he wants, but it's going to happen because of the situation. Most likely to happen because of the situation.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, man, this was an eye opener for me, because you have a lot of young men, or men in general these days, propagating the idea that it's, get your money up, get your stats up. You don't gotta be bound to one woman. Be afraid of marriage and love the idea of never being married. Do your thing. End up paying a bunch of child support. End up having you think Cam Newton's life is peaceful? He may come off that way, but we don't know what his life actually looks like. It may be peaceful, it may not be. But what I can tell you is there's going to be a lot of destruction when they grow up. I've seen single parent households. It's not an easy thing. Like, people think you can just raise your child with good values. When they grow up, something is broken in that child, and they're going to make decisions from that brokenness, unless they have people around them who care enough to pull them in and mentor them. But even with that, this is still a struggle, right? And he's doing this, and he wants to do it more. He wants
more. He wants more. He's not satisfied. He doesn't want to stop. He's not sad, and that's another characteristic of being at that level. You want more. It's nothing satisfied, because what's satisfying is not what you're even looking for, or you don't even want nothing to do with the person that can satisfy. And so, where does this stem from? What does this behavior stem from? We can look all the way back to the father of lies. That's Lucifer. They, basically, Lucifer if you remember what his downfall was pride, but then he wanted to be like God. He wanted to be God. And so you see with a lot of people, they want to be God in some aspect. They want to be God as far as, you know, praise. They want to be praised. They want to be God as far as, you know, kingdom build. You know, they want to have a kingdom. They want to be this. They want to be known as this. They want to build themselves up, and that's where it comes from. It comes from the father of lies or their father, Lucifer, because they want to be God, and it's the same spirit behind these activities. They do this because they want to be the ones to be, you know, reverenced. You know, they want to be the ones to be praised, and that's where it amounts from, and that's the same spirit essentially. You know, spirit of pride is what makes the downfall. You know, pride comes before the fall. We can all say multiple or name out multiple celebrities, whether in music or sports, that seem very humble and nice in the beginning. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm thankful for the opportunity. When they're on the top, when you see them years later after they make it, what happened? You know, they're not talking so softly and kindly no more. They're like, yeah, you know, I just fired my whole team because, you know, the conversation is different because why? The pride is high. The ego is through the sky. And when you die, it's going to be like a fish fry. I just tried to rhyme. But anyway, the point is that is they got the opportunity to show what they really who they really are, you know, because the apple tree never makes grape juice. You know what I mean? The apple tree never makes grape juice. The grape tree never produced watermelons. What was inside them it was harvest time for them to show their fruit, you know. And that's basically what it is, you know. So yes, that's where this all stems from, and this is where it could lead you if you originally don't have good desires. It's gonna come out at some point. You know, everything that's in the dark will come to the light. So with that being said, hopefully this kind of brings some light into this example, because we're not like talking about Cam Newton so poignantly, but we want to make a point of this discussion and bring out some points that will kind of shed light on just human behavior and how we can learn from it. Smash the like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments, man. If you disagree, let's hear it. We want to have a conversation. Don't be afraid. We just regular two guys having a conversation. Hey, you want to close out with what you call it?
Like he said, let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you disagree, let us know. At the end of the day, we're just two guys having a conversation. Don't come for us, all right? We're just having a conversation, and then we turn on the camera, and then you guys are in on the convo. So let us know what you think. We're just normal folk, all right? We ain't special, okay?
Hey, look at D's background. I don't know, he got some Jeffrey Dahmer action going on. It's Holy Duo, and we're only holy
because he is. And remember, faith don't come expensive.
It's free.
It's free. Peace.